We're down to the coast here. You can see the surf behind me, and tsunamis are not something that we know of in Australia, although we have had some that have sort of come through and made about that much difference. It's only really detectable by the instruments. But we're talking about Afghanistan, and there's a tsunami coming from that to the business world that we do need to be aware of. With Afghanistan falling to the Taliban, there's lots of activity happening internationally, and even though it's on the other side of the world to us here in Australia, it has a real potential of rippling right the way through to where we are through indirect channels. Already China is making threatening moves against Taiwan, amongst other places. We have other activist nations which are also jumping up and down and starting to make noises, thinking that with the US pulling out, they've got a chance of getting what they want. And all of that makes a bigger problem with the security situation. We have a lot of problems already with things like ransomware and other cybersecurity issues, and a lot of that is believed to come to what they call states that are sponsoring this level of activity. And what they're trying to do is to unbalance our society to make it easier to overthrow it and do what's required. You may or might not know, but there are several cyber war games happening around the world every year to deal with exactly this sort of thing, but that doesn't stop it from getting through at the small business level, where things like ransomware and other just general cyber attacks on us are making life increasingly difficult. So one of the things we need to do with that is to make sure that we have our security stepped up to the right level. If you have multi-factor authentication, that's good. If you don't, you really need to consider that. Consider which parts of your system need to be protected from these activists, and make sure that these overseas perpetrators cannot get through and take your data. So be careful of that, understand what the times are that we live in, and be careful and be warned, and make sure that you are prepared for it. The other thing that you should be doing with your websites is make sure that you have a full backup of it, so that if anything does happen, you can start again at a moment's notice. So make sure that you have complete full backups of everything that you need, and all of your critical data is protected and safe. Daryl from Darbeth, see you around.